You ever witnessed anything remarkable that no one believed? We're sure you would have kicked yourself for not taking a picture to prove it. They say taking pictures is like savoring life intensely, where everything, including a hundredth of a second, is caught. This is otherwise impossible to achieve through the naked eye, so join me as I take you through the breathtaking things caught on camera. Number 10. Plane breaking the sound barrier. For an airplane to break the sound barrier, it must hit speeds of about 1,235 kilometers an hour, which is a supersonic speed also known as Mach 1. What Mach 1 refers to is that the object is traveling faster than the speed of sound. So when a plane manages to hit that speed, a couple of things happen. All the air in front of the craft gets pushed together, can't get out of its own way, and when that magic number gets hit, the air finally breaks free and crashes behind the plane, causing a sonic boom. The boom is literally an explosion of sound waves that travels by the plane as long as it's flying at that speed. But the moment that first barrage of air pounds back over the airplane, it sometimes condenses or sweeps up vapor from the jet's engine, moisture in the air, and even seawater, resulting in some amazing visuals. Number 9. Underwater atomic bomb. In 1946, the United States conducted a series of nuclear weapon tests at Bikini Atoll in what's known as Operation Crossroads. A total of 2 bombs were detonated to test the effects nuclear blasts had on naval warships. Due to the unique properties of underwater explosions, the Baker test produced several unique photographs that the world had never seen before. The photograph is an eerily beautiful image shot from 3.5 miles away, showing the massive vertical water column. The blast managed to lift about 2 million tons of water and sand into the air, creating a column 6,000 feet tall, 2,000 feet wide, and a thickness of about 300 feet thick walls. It's reported that more than 700 cameras and almost 500 camera operators surrounded the test site. This could well mean that nearly half of the world's supply of film back then was at Bikini for the tests, making these explosions one of the most thoroughly photographed moments in our history. Number 8. Solar eclipse. In astronomy, eclipses and transits are astronomical events in which a celestial body partially or totally covers another celestial object. The 2 types of eclipses, solar and lunar, occur when either the new moon moves between Earth and the Sun, which is the solar eclipse, or Earth casts a shadow on the full moon, which is known as the lunar eclipse. In 2012, millions of people across Eastern Asia and the Western U.S. had a great view of the annular solar eclipse. This eclipse saw the moon passing in front of the sun, leaving only a golden ring around its edges, creating a ring of fire. The sky all around turned into a deep navel blue twilight, while the horizon remained on the fringes with a lighter glow, as the sun was still shining outside the narrow path of totality. Number 7. Jupiter and its moons. In December 2020, an amateur astrophotographer captured a stunning image of the Great Conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, revealing the solar system's giant and its moons just a fingernail width away from, our perspective at least, from Saturn, whose rings were shockingly clear in the night sky. Though the image was captured with a camera attached to a telescope, to the naked eye, the planet duo appeared almost like a single bright star in the sky, also known as the Christmas star. Jupiter's 4 largest moons seem to form a line passing through the planet, with Europa at the bottom, Ganymede next up the line, then Io and Callisto. Even though Jupiter is way out in the outer solar system, you can still see its 4 largest moons. They're often called the Galilean moons to honor the Italian astronomer Galileo, who discovered them in 1610 using a homemade telescope. And while Jupiter and Saturn have a close conjunction once every 20 years, the planets hadn't appeared this close since 1623. Number 6. Moon photobombing Earth. A NASA camera aboard the Deep Space Climate Observatory, or popularly known as the Discover satellite, captured a view of the moon as it moved in front of the sunlit side of Earth. The images were captured by NASA's Earth Polychromatic Imaging Camera, or the EPIC, which is mounted on the Discover satellite that's orbiting about 1 million miles from Earth. From its position between the Sun and Earth, Discover conducts its primary mission of real-time solar wind monitoring for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The image clearly shows the moon's far side lit up by the sun, even though, in full sunlight, the Earth is far brighter. This amazing view proves that the Earth is a truly brilliant object in the dark space compared to the lunar surface. Number 5. Supercell thunderstorm. Veteran storm chaser and photographer Roger Hill managed to capture an image of a spectacular supercell thunderstorm near Sanford, Kansas in 2013. It was reported that several severe thunderstorms had developed during that afternoon and evening across western Kansas and produced hailstones as large as quarters and golf balls. Supercells are the least common type of thunderstorm, but they do have a high propensity to produce severe weather, including damaging winds, very large hail, and sometimes weak to violent tornadoes. What makes a supercell unique from all other thunderstorm types is that it contains a deep, persistent, rotating updraft called a mesocyclone. If the environment is favorable, supercell thunderstorms can last for several hours. Number 4. Black hole. In April 2017, scientists used a global network of telescopes to see and capture the first ever picture of a black hole. They captured an image of the supermassive black hole and its shadow at the center of a galaxy known as M87. This is the first direct visual evidence that black holes exist. The massive galaxy, called Messier 87 or M87, is near the Virgo galaxy cluster 55 million light-years from Earth. The supermassive black hole has a mass that is 6.5 billion times that of our Sun. The black hole and its accretion disk, the orbiting ring of hot matter, are believed to be larger than the entire solar system combined. Number 3. Cat's Eye Nebula. The Cat's Eye Nebula, also known as Caldwell 6, is a planetary nebula in the northern constellation of Draco, which was discovered by William Herschel way back in 1786. A planetary nebula is a series of clouds of expanding gas given off by an aging star during its slow death. When a star gets old and its hydrogen fuel runs out, then its core collapses and its outer layers puff up. As the collapsing core gets hotter and denser, helium fusion ignites and produces an outward rush of energy that pushes the outer layers of gas into space, forming a nebula. This cycle can repeat, creating a series of gaseous rings around the central star. The full beauty of the Cat's Eye Nebula was revealed in the detailed view from NASA's Hubble Space Telescope. The image from Hubble's advanced camera for surveys shows a bullseye pattern of 11 or even more concentric rings or shells around the cat's eye. Each ring is actually the edge of a spherical bubble seen projected onto the sky. That's why it appears bright along its outer edge. Number 2. Buzz Aldrin, almost 52 years ago, a former Navy pilot, created one of the most innovative artistic masterpieces of the 20th century, which we are yet to completely comprehend. His name was Neil Armstrong, and his incredible work of art is a photograph of his Apollo 11 crewmate, Buzz Aldrin, standing on the moon's Sea of Tranquility. Not that Aldrin's face is visible. His face and flesh are veiled behind a thickly padded white spacesuit, the visor representing Armstrong's tiny figure beside the lunar lander's golden legs. The photos taken by the crew of Apollo 11 and the few astronauts who followed them are still unique. They remain the only depictions of human beings in another world. Number 1. The iceberg that sank the Titanic. A photo showing the iceberg that sank the RMS Titanic was recently up for auction. This breathtaking, historically significant picture was supposedly taken only 40 hours before ice scraped the unsinkable Titanic's hull in April 1912. The photograph was taken by W. Wood, who was the captain of the SS Etonian, in a location that closely matches the site of the ship's impact with the iceberg. It is reported that Captain Wood's photo is an incredibly close match to the sketches that were made by both a lookout who spotted the iceberg and a crew member of the Titanic who also saw the mass firsthand. Their sketches appeared to be very similar to the iceberg in this photo and had the same distinctive odd shape at the top. It remains unclear if the iceberg shown in the photo is the iceberg that sank the ill-fated ship, but there is strong evidence to support the assertion. Even so, who would have believed this had it not been caught on camera? So, what do you think? Which of these moments did you find the most breathtaking of all? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and like us. I'll see you next time on the channel. Until then, it's goodbye.